Welcome to Women of Courage, where you will hear the stories of courageous women, women from all walks of life who have faced challenges along the path of their life journey, women who have tapped into their inner resources and found the courage to confront, to overcome, and to triumph. I'm Ann Miner, your host for the show, and my guests have all agreed to share their experiences so others may learn from them. It is my hope that these stories will inspire you, that knowing you are not alone in facing the bumpy road of life, you will be motivated to keep moving, that you will take action and courageously pursue your own dreams and passions, no matter what obstacles are presented along the way. Just as our women of courage have won over their challenges, you can too. Stay with us. We'll be back with today's Women of Courage in just a moment.
If I were brave,
Are you ready to get your beard on? Catch CBC's coverage of the 2013 hockey playoffs from the first round right through the final, live on your Rogers smartphone. Download the Anyplace TV mobile app today and don't miss a second of the action.
The opportunities they give you, I don't think you'll find anywhere in London, that's for sure. Everything from mobiles, calling hockey games, to reporting, interviewing people, editing, anything you can name. Working in the studio, using the camera there, doing audio, doing graphics. If I was talking to somebody and they were considering Rogers TV, I would tell them that you'll leave the station every day with a smile on your face.
Brought to you by Earth Rangers. Shh. I'm searching for Oregon spotted frogs, and I can't find a single one. That's because there's barely any left in the wild. I became an Earth Ranger so I could help protect these amazing amphibians. So what are you waiting for? Let's bring back the wild. Go to earthrangers.com, become an Earth Ranger, and start your Oregon Spotted Frog campaign today.
what would I do today if I were brave?
With me today is Deborah Wellman. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, I'm so looking forward to having you tell us your story. I know that you've faced some tremendous challenges. So why don't you just give us the background?
Well, the biggest challenge for me was May 21st, 2011. My home burnt to the ground, and I lost everything we owned, including my business that I built out of grief for losing my mom.
Oh. Well, why don't you tell us what led you to do that?
My mom was my best friend and everything to me, and I did not deal with her loss very well. Obviously, still today, I'm not dealing with it very well. But and one of the things when my mom was sick from cancer. She passed from cancer, and one of the things that I would do for her was I would do her nails. And that was one of the things that she liked to do. It made her feel pretty. I mean, she had no hair, she had nothing. And after I had lost her, one of the things to try to help get through it was taking that loss and turning it into something positive. And that's trying to make other people feel good, and myself, you know. And so doing that, I opened up the spa in April 18th of 2009. And I started it part-time just as a hobby, because I just needed something to feel that loss, you know, just to have her present. And the butterfly that I wear, and that is my symbol of my business, is insignia of my mother. The butterfly, when she passed, I had bought this angel. We were big on angels. So we bought this angel, and it was a butterfly. And the butterfly said to me on the card that we would meet again. Someday we'd meet again. And it was in the form of a butterfly. And that is where the butterfly comes from. So I started the business in 2009 of April 18th. Lost my full-time job because I was just doing it as a hobby in 2010 of December. And then May 21st of 2011, we lost everything we owned to a house fire, including my business.
So out of the loss of your job came the opportunity to be full-time in your business, and then another setback.
Yes. Yes. Setback, challenge. I think I take it as a challenge of, you know, what doesn't break you makes you stronger. That's always been, for me, what doesn't break makes you stronger. You know, we all go through little things in our lives, that those challenges that we face, but sometimes you have those big ones. And there was days after the fire that I didn't know how we were going to go on. I didn't, but I knew that even though we lost everything that we owned, there's other people that face bigger goals than we do. You know, they have to overcome bigger challenges than we do, and that either I kicked myself in the butt and got back up and going, or it was going to fall to the ground, and I couldn't do that. I had my family to take care of, you know, and I had my memory of my mom, and I wasn't going to let that go.
Was there someone that inspired you as you went through those days?
Oh, I mean, my husband and I and my kids had so many people that helped us. They really did. But the inspiration to get going again is my family. You know, it's my family, and to preserve the memory of my mom. You know, it was that. I mean, my husband, he's been a rock. You know, it's, you know, so it was a group effort. It was a group. It truly is. You know, it's, you can't do everything on your own. You can try, but you can't. I've tried, but I can't. But yeah.
So, how did you manage through that year? I know that you moved into a different space with your business.
Yes, I did. The home burnt down May 21st, and it was one of those, you know, you have clients, you have people that you have to take care of, and you either get out there and you find another place to start the business over, or you let it fold. And I probably lied awake for about 3 days. My husband was burnt in the fire, so we had to take care of, you know, we had a lot of things that we had to take care of. But as soon as we were able to get on our feet, got a hold of, we lived with my husband's best friend for a year. We lived at his home.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That must have been its own.
Yeah, that again was its own challenge, but we lived there, and he was fantastic, and his father helped me get a rental space right away. I had to pull out all my pension money that I had from Cammie. I pulled all my pension money and just got the business up and running. It was, the home burned down May of 2011, and we were up and running the first week of June.
My goodness, that is a real testament.
Yeah,
to your ingenuity, I would say.
I have to tell you, it takes the fun out of shopping. Having to go like day in and day out, you know, to do that, it took the fun out of shopping. My daughter and I, who, God bless her, I mean, she was amazing. We went to every store. We decorated the building. We went and bought all our equipment and just to get everybody up and running. But it was a lot of sleepless nights.
But that was only about 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks. I don't even think it was quite 3 weeks, and we had it up and going. And you know, we were so lucky. A lot of my clients were so loyal, and they followed us up to Huron Street there, which was fantastic. And you know, when you go through something like that, you need those people. Those people just aren't clients, they're friends. You know, you gain a lot of friendships through having your own business and stuff, so.
And you certainly served as an example of what could be done when you put your mind to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's so easy to crawl under that rock and say this didn't happen. It takes a bigger person to come up over that rock and make something of it. You know, and trust me, I wanted to climb under that rock many times. But, you know, unfortunately, you have to pick yourself up and go.
And so all this time you were also rebuilding.
Yes, we were rebuilding our home. Everybody would like to think that they're fully insured, and everybody would like to think that something like this never, ever would happen to you. But like I said, we lost everything, and we weren't, of course, fully covered. So we actually built our own home. To save money, we built our own home. So yeah, we had the business and rebuilding our lives all in the same year.
You rebuilt the business.
Yeah.
Again, attached to your home.
Yep, I did. You know, it's one of those things, because one of the great things about, you know, working outside of the home for so many years when my children were growing up, I now was able to work out of my home, and still I had more time to spend with my kids. You know, having it attached to your home. There's sometimes that you go, oh my goodness, why did I do that? Because I could have just stayed in town, you know, kept the business in town. But it's something, my business has always been like family. You know, you look outside my backyard and you see my little puppies running around, or you see my kids. But it's country comfort spa. It's that country homey feeling, you know, and that's what I wanted back.
Great.
You know.
Well, we're going to go to a break,
Yeah.
and we'll take a break now, and we'll be right back with more of Deborah Wellman's story.
If I were brave.
Old St. Paul's Anglican Church was built in 1834, shortly after the founding of the community of Woodstock. The church was financed by Admiral Henry Van Sittert and was constructed under the direction of his agent, Captain Andrew Drew. Made of 100,000 bricks from Joseph Pierce Farm and horsehair plaster, Old St. Paul's was constructed by Messrs. Hill and Bishop, a bricklayer and carpenter, respectively. The bell came from England, and the total cost of the church construction was £1,800. In addition to paying for the building, the Admiral also pledged the maintenance of its first incumbent, the Reverend William Bettridge, who served with Van Sittert in the Napoleonic War and led the congregation from 1834 to 1879. During the rebellion of 1837, the tower was used to jail prisoners captured by the local militia. The chancel was added to the original rectangular structure in 1843, and the growing congregation was accommodated in 1851 with the addition of 2 transepts. To find out more, contact the Woodstock Museum, www.woodstockmuseum.com.
I'm Mike Harding, host of Innovation Oxford. One of the ways we remember important historical events. And of course, you've seen the kind of haircut they give here. Watch us on Rogers TV. Innovation is everywhere.
What step would I take today if I were brave?
Well, welcome back as we continue our conversation with Deborah Wellman. Well, thanks so much for sharing your challenges with us.
Thank you.
So now you were telling us that you're back at home with your business and your home on the same property, and how much you're enjoying that.
I am. It's great to be home. I mean, unfortunately, there's still, you know, a lot of work left to be done. You know, we moved back home as soon as we possibly could. We were out of the business and away from the home for over a year, and generally out of something bad, there's always something good. I believe, as much as what we went through was not fun, pleasant, but I always believe that things are meant to be. That things happen for a reason. They always do, you know. And from that, being on Huron Street and being in there, I opened up another company too. I found that being in Woodstock and being in the city there, there was market to have more, so I opened up Allure Hair and Tanning right there in the same building. I bought that building there in Woodstock.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. So being there, and I have an amazing group of girls up there as well. So I have my family and my girls, and all my girls that work for me are my family. That's how I treat them, and that's how I want them to be. But yeah, so out of that, I've now started my new business, trying to keep Country Comfort going, and giving my kids an amazing home.
So how many people are working at Country Comfort Spa?
At Country Comfort Spa right now, I have 3 hairdressers, another esthetician besides myself, and a registered massage therapist.
And then how many people are still on Huron Street? Huron Street.
Yeah, I have 5 girls up at Huron Street.
So you have a total of 10 altogether?
Yeah.
Well, that's double, or at least double what you started with, isn't it?
Well, when I first started, it was me and a small, probably the size of a bedroom is what I started. I had one like pedicure chair.
Yes.
I had a table and a desk. So I started in a small room, kind of thing. So yeah, so it's like I said, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that.
Well, you certainly turned that opportunity into something much bigger.
Yes.
So what's ahead for you?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, to keep growing, of course, but I'll stop at the 2 businesses for sure.
For now, maybe.
But just we're not completely settled. You know, we're settled, we're home, but just to get completely settled, that's the goal for me, you know, and it's still yet to feel like home, you know.
Did you make changes, or did you rebuild it just the way it was?
It was when the home burnt down and the business burnt down, believe it or not, we just that day got permission to backfill. I was doing an addition onto the business. Nothing related. It had nothing to do with the fire, but I was doing addition. So when we rebuilt, of course, we got to start from scratch. I didn't have an addition onto addition. Do you know what I mean? So it was, I got to build from scratch, you know, and like I said, we built it, so we designed everything.
So it's different than it was to
it is. It's a little bit different, but where I want to go with the company isn't any different. I still want people to come in and feel comfortable and feel homey. The down country, like if people come in, you know, they might get to see my little puppy, or they might see my children. You know, one of the biggest things when I first opened the business and people loved, my little guy would be sitting right at the reception desk, you know.
And how old is he?
Well, he's 10 now. He's 10 now, soon to be 11. But one of the favorite things was Jesse sitting at the reception desk when my clients would come in. You know, it's a family business, and like I said, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for any of my girls either that work for me. You know, so going forward is just to continue to build for the girls. You know, bring more people in for the girls. You know, and you know, it's just to make people happy.
So if you were going to pass on words of wisdom based on your experience, what would you tell others?
That no matter how dark it feels, and just you grab a hold of that strength, and I believe it's within yourself. You have to kick yourself in the butt, and you have to get up, and you have to get going. And there's nothing out there that if you want it bad enough that you can't do. I truly believe that. You know, you might have to, there's different ways around to do it, but if you have a goal or you have a dream, you stop dreaming, you stop living. If you have a dream, you go after it.
And what would you say to somebody that's starting up their business that they could learn from your experience?
You know, starting up your business that's tough. It really is. It's a lot of work. You know, having your own business, it's a 24/7 job. It really is. But if that's something that you want, you have to be willing to dedicate, and there's things that you have to give up and compromise. But it's, I don't know, for me, it's just a balance. And you know, if there's something you want, I believe you can do it.
So you mentioned balance. So
Yeah.
how would you advise someone to balance?
Well, when I was talking about my business, the balance, I always let my kids be part of it. You know, I was starting up, when you came to Country Comfort, there was me, of course, doing your services, but there was always my kids. You know, if they wanted to come in, like I said, one of the big things for people was to come in and say hi to the kids. You know, there's always time for everything.
Well, that is one amazing story, and you seem to have found a way over, under, around, and through the difficulties and come out on top.
Thank you.
And I think it's especially remarkable that out of it came 2 businesses, not just one.
Thank you.
So as we wrap up today, we're going to hear from one wild, wacky, wonderful woman, Jezebel Peppa.
Hello, darlings. Jezebel Peppa here. Do you go to the gym? Because we all know that physical fitness is a big part of good health. If you go to the gym and have a regular exercise regimen, I think that's wonderful. But let me tell you, the only way you're going to get this girl to a gym is if there's a big lounge chair, I have a tall umbrella drink, and I get to look at all the wonderful trainers. I think that would be great. So I do something else instead. I walk. Sometimes I walk by myself. Sometimes I take my dog. I get a couple of good things out of this. Not only do I get exercise, but I can meditate while I walk. Breathe in the fresh air, listen to the birds, and let my thoughts wander. So if you're not a gym person, try walking. Start small. Go for a short distance. Every day you'll find yourself going farther, and eventually you'll really look forward to it. Get in that great outdoors. Celebrate the great outdoors. And remember to celebrate the Jezebel in you.
Here's a self-defense technique you can learn in less than a minute. This is a great one for the ladies. You could be standing, you could be sitting on the bus, it could happen anywhere. And this is when someone gets, whoa, a little too friendly. First thing I want to do is I'm going to reach over and grab his hand. Taking my fingers and I'm going to grab what we'd call the meat of his pinky. From here, my thumb is placed on top of his thumb. I'm going to roll and peel his hand off my shoulder to the sky. As I do so, I'm going to grab it with my other hand because 2 hands are better than 1. From this position, I'm going to draw my hand straight from here down to his groin. Now I need to get away, so I'm going to push off on the side of his head, making some space. We're going to do that one more time. Again, it's not a friendly, not a nice situation. Someone puts their hand around you. Hey, I don't like this. I'm going to grab, hands up, hand, groin, push, and don't touch me. There's one more technique to help keep you safe.
If I were brave.
Every guest on Women of Courage takes home with her a beautiful bouquet of flowers, courtesy of Fernley Flowers, and an autographed copy of my book, Succeeding in Spite of Everything. Remember, in every setback lies opportunity. Opportunity for you to call up all that you have learned through personal experience and from others. To rely on your core beliefs and values, to find your way through to new opportunities, and succeed in spite of everything. Until next time, be courageous.
What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? If I believed, would the wind always fill up my sail? How far would I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread, and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What if we're all meant to do what we secretly dream? What would you ask if you knew you could have anything? Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, are there miracles in you and me? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to tread, and never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, with the voice of courage whisper in my ear. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where fools and dreamers dare to.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line at 519-660-7548 or email us with your comments